Hello there everyone, it's me Daniel here again, and that's it, the last part of my Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends AU lore facts. Let's make it a good one, shall we? During the late 20s, many engines from other railways had brought to Sodor. Most of these engines were sentient, however, there were some faceless examples, two of which still around today. First was L and WR improved President class, called Northwestern. What's interesting, Northwestern nowadays stands proudly on static display beside the Tidmouth station. The second engine was a Great Eastern Railway W class single-wheeler. This engine is also on static display at Wellsworth. The Sodor and mainland box tanks, Clive, Neil and Matthew, may be the same class, but all three of them have different designs. For example, Clive is a piano tank, Matthew is an 060, and besides them, there was a lot more box tanks working for Sodor and Mainland Railway. In 1967, when the Northwestern Railway was in the process of separating from British Railways, the railway is also in a search of an engines that could be saved. So the engines they found includes Great Western Railway 1400 class, number 1411, an IVAT 2MT tank 41215, LNER N2 4741, Southern Railway King Arthur class 783 Sir Gillamere, Schools Class 902 Wellington, Great Western Railway 9400 Pannier Tank 9484, Great Western Railway Grange Class 6877 Lanfair Grange, Great Western Railway Collie Goods 2227, and finally British Railways 9F 92217. In the first part I said that there was only 4 surviving Adams radial tanks. We have Lady, Eleonora, Crowley and of course Adams. And you may think that Adam is not survived or just simply not a canon in my AU. But in fact he is. And how I portrayed Adam in my AU may surprise you. Adam is an LSWR T3, but not just any T3, but number 563, who is preserved on the Swanage Railway. God, I hope I pronounced that right. The same situation with Lily. She is not an LSWR 02, but a Metropolitan Railway E-Class number 1, who is also being preserved. Oh yes, I just had to talk about this. We all know the sad story of Henry. A really bizarre story in my opinion. Walling an engine inside the tunnel, one of your engines when you only have 4 on the whole railway, and blocking the mainline tunnel. Are you sure it's a good idea? Anyways, this is my version of Sad Story of Henry. In October 13, 1924, Henry Bessemer was on its way to Wellsworth with a passenger train. It was raining hard and the rails were slippery. It was extra hard for Henry Bessemer to get a proper grip on the rails, since he's an Atlantic. When Henry Bessemer entered the Ballyhoo Tunnel, it happened. You see, the ascent began inside the Ballyhoo Tunnel. The rainwater rolled down from the other side into the tunnel and remained on the rails. When Henry Bessemer started climbing the ascent, he lost grip completely and stopped, with his safety valve blowing like mad. Behind Henry's train was another one. This one is much faster and it's headed to Vickerstown. Afton was at the front of the train and he has no choice but to try to push Henry out of the tunnel. Afton, being a 10-wheeler, have much better traction. It takes a while, but finally, he pushed Henry and his train out of the tunnel. Perhaps that's why Henry is rebuilt into a 10-wheeler. To prevent such incidents from happening again, the land shape inside the Ballyhoo tunnel had to be changed. The Norrumby branch line doesn't exist in my AU, but what exists is the fishing town of Norrumby, which is located on the Harwick branch line. Running this line was previously mentioned 41215 and 4741. In 1948, when Northwestern became the part of British Railways, it formed a brand new boat train, known as the Finn of Tidmouth. And to pull this train, the railway purchased 2 new engines from the Southern Railway. First is a Lord Nelson class 853 Sir Richard Grenville, and the second engine is a Bullitt Pacific 34022 Exmoor. I suppose you know who this engine meant to be. And that's it. The last part of my AU of Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends Lore Facts has come to an end. I hope you find my AU interesting. Goodbye.